Fender Studio Pro. Let's paint about this, guys. Also known as Studio One, Personas Studio One Pro is now being renamed to Fender Studio Pro. I have to get used to that. So if you guys hear me say Studio One, forgive me. That's a thing in the past now. But after using the program for so long, it has always been Studio One, and now it is called Studio Pro. All right. So first things is first, the thing that makes Studio One, or now Studio Pro, the thing that makes it powerful, make it special to some of us that use this program and has been using it for a long time, is all of those things are still here. But there was a few changes, some updates, some refresh, some redesigns, things in here and there, some new stuff. I got to tell you, I'm going to only show you guys the things that caught my eye immediately and things that you will see. But there's a lot about this program under the hood that I will not talk about yet, which is why you should be subscribed, because we will be doing live streams and I'll just be showing you guys what's happening. You know what I mean? But I just want to point out some of the things that I see. And as you can see right off the bat, there's a new channel view lane here. Something happened that I just did not see happening ever, was ability to see your plugins at the bottom. Now, right now, you can only see the native plugins, which is by Fender or Personas. You can only see the graphics and, you know, the special meters jumping or whatever, just like in Ableton. It's the same deal, but with third-party plugs, I mean, what can you do? But they did something special that I thought was kind of unique. Instead of it coming up as regular by, you know, default and just lines of words, depending on the feature that third-party plugin supports, they gave us something that's kind of cool. So, like, I'm gonna go to this other track here that I kind of added stuff. Well, I might as well just show y'all what's going on right now. As you can see, that's what it looks like. But there was a particular track that let me see, was it this one? No, it wasn't any of those. So, okay, here's the track right here. So this one here is, now this is red light. Now they redesigned, let me show y'all that. Red light distortion. For those that have been following me for a while, you already know I use this plugin a lot on everything. A lot. Like Frank Red Hot Sauce. I use this on everything. And they redesigned it, which is kind of refreshing. It's kind of cool. And so, for instance, this is the third-party plugin. It's an Abbey Roads Studio plug right here. But this is what it looks like down here. So my thoughts behind this is that they took some time and messed with the coding a little bit to make these things show up differently down at the channel view here, which is interesting because this is Abbey Roads, but this next plugin has different buttons and knobs or whatever. So I'm thinking like maybe there's something in the coding that say if this is a word inside the plugin, show it like this. You see these two different deals right here, they look differently. You know, there's this punch, there's buttons and things like that, and they're placed differently. You know, it's not like a default, well, you know, everything that's a button, supposed to be a button, which is going to place them in this section. And then there's this section where we're going to have the knobs or whatever. No, everything is placed differently. And as I move over, as you can see, there's another third party deal. This is the RC. You guys see me use this all the time. Again, it's things are placed differently. So there's something happening in regards of like the support for third party plugins, which is pretty cool. I do like that. You know, like I say, instead of just being like a default ugly looking deal, so they made it look pretty nice, right? And so this is something new. This is something new. Of course, you know, Fender is going to put their amp, they stamp in here, you know, and it's kind of cool how things pop up. This is really cool. You know, you can't lie. You know, it's kind of cool. This is pretty dope. So if I was to add something here, they have this situation where it does this really cool animation. You know, there you have it. And that's, hey man, this is cool stuff here. Say you like that? Confirm. Bam. Now it's in there. We in there. The yellow box is at the end of the chain, and you can replace. Yeah, that's cool. And some of these things I will just play around with because I have not played. So some of this is just like that. I just showed you. I've never tried to remove. I just say, what if I can? And obviously we can. This is my first time showing you, or my first time seeing what some of the stuff can do. Sync BPM. Okay, cool. All right, that's that. And then you have this is something I have not. So we checking this out for the first time, guys. So there's different presets, and that's how you get to it. Okay. There's a tuner. Oh wow. Nice. Nice. For those of you guitar enthusiasts, this is something special for you. Okay. But that's not all that they did. There's other things happening in here. So this is the Tricom. Okay, let's go through some of these things. So this section right here is an addition to how we was able to, in the same area where we was able to get to the mixer and go back and forth between that and the piano roll or the browser. So this button is the browser, and then this is the mixer, and now we have this channel view. I think that's what it's called. I could be wrong, but I feel like that's what it's called. That's the piano roll area. And so with this new design here, you can now just click on any of these things at the bottom. So you can click here at the top and get the instant, view, or at the bottom. So it's like, that's a cool way to have, multiple instances of navigating around Studio One or Studio Pro. Okay. So that's the tuner. So now you can see it, or if you just prefer to have a view, the window, you can still pin things. Why, where it just stay there, and then go here and then say you want to bring that one out. Those things that we loved about Studio Pro. Actually, it will be Studio One, because that was the you know what I'm saying. So being able to pin the windows still exists. So just going through some of these plugins real quick, I'm gonna unpin that and we'll go here. So the redesign of some of these plugins, like I say, it's a real thing. Let's see, Studio Verb. So this one is new. Studio Verb. That is a new addition to Studio Pro, should I say. I don't know if this was a part of Fender's thing for a while. I would imagine that this is, and they just brought it over. But that's there. So we go here. Tricomp has a new design. Not too long ago that they redesigned this, when the persona's name was on, stamped on here. But as you can see, everything was redesigned with the Fender name, the Fender logo on everything, rebranding. This one was redesigned as well. Let's go to this one. I mean, it's pretty much the same, but just little tweaks here and there. The chorus, things are placed at the same, but again, just a little things. Now this one, I think, this one is the same design as things were before 8. So this in Studio One, I would say this design was the design before 8. So most of everything was looking like this, and so they didn't change that. This one's kind of the same thing. Some of these things don't really need to be redesigned, but it's always cool to have a refresh of these plugs, or not. How people are sometimes. Why you got to change what ain't broken? Don't fix it. Yeah, I mean, sometimes things things got to change a little bit just to bring a little bit of inspiration. You know what I mean? We in Studio Pro now, Studio Pro 8. Things got to switch up a little bit. The rotors still look the same. Okay, so there's nothing to see there. The Pro EQ still the same, but as you can tell, if you notice, there's this rounded corners type of situation that's happening in most of everything. The way things look, everything is now rounded now, as you can see in the bar here at the top, and in your navigation bar here at the bottom. And something I do appreciate them for is bringing the metronome up front, because the metronome was something I had to go, and it was always down here, but it was like, it was a certain way that I had to go in and double click on things and get the window. But in this case, all I have to do now is right click on this and get the pre-count. The pre-count is very important to me. Something I just kind of hope that I could change by default. Like maybe there is in the settings, the metronome just pre-count automatically, because that's something I had to always turn on. Maybe that was a feature that was always in Studio One, and I just failed to turn it on. But that right there, just to get to that by itself, for me specifically, I appreciate that, because this was the way I had to go in there. I had to always pull up the window and then come in here and activate even the way that the button looks is different. Wow. It used to be a check like this, but now there's it's a button now. That's kind of cool. And then they got busy. There's several other additions here. If you're into that type of thing, you want your metronome to sound different, there you go. You can make your adjustments, and I believe that you can add your own stuff in here too, if I'm not mistaken. Low presets, or maybe not. I don't know. Add sound. There you go. Yes, you can. Obviously, you can. And then they have this section down here. Now this is the part. Oh wow. So you can make your metronome a lot more musical, is what I'm. Well, there you go. There you have it. So if you into this type of thing, there's that. I'm going to turn it off because I don't need that. But like for those of you that play the guitar and you just need something real quick, or just a singer, and you could be one of those. And there you go. There's the new feature for the metronome. I think the only thing I will visit here is the right click option. Say pre-count on and off. Bam. There you have it. So that's a thing. Okay. The mixer still looks the same. Nothing to see here. And we're just kind of going through some of the stuff. See if I can find something different. Let's see. The browser is still the same. Nothing to see there. Splice is still the same. I have the beta version, so I'm guessing this is why this is doing this. Splice integration has been here for a while. I might be just showing this off to some of you guys that don't know the power of Studio One. Like, yes, we have Splice integration, and I believe Studio One was the first to add this integration, and then Ableton Live follow suit. And I'm pretty sure that everybody else is going to start doing the same thing, because it is real cool to have Splice in here. So like I say, things are still boring looking in the browser, but I have faith that Fender will update the browser where it would make it more useful. I am shooting for Bitwig style browser. Thank you very much, because I know Fender will be watching this video, and I'm just kind of throwing it out there. If we can get a browser that looks like Bitwig, that would be fantastic. Thank you in advance. But yeah, so that's what's happening here, and I want to show you guys something really cool that I thought was cool to me. Now, Impact, and you guys have to go through these things, and you will discover some of these, some new refresh and stuff like that. But Impact has been, for the most part, just redesigned in terms of like the colors, and like I say, things are more rounded now. I don't know if you could change the color of this like we did before. Oh, you can. Well, the color of the pad, it's more vibrant now, and you can see the colors. Let's change colors. We're like blue, and let's go for, I don't know. Yeah, that's a good color. You know what I'm saying? It's more vibrant. I think before you couldn't really say the colors was like more of a thinner border around them, but now it makes sense. Now it's thicker. You can see it better, and you can fill these things up to your heart's content, obviously. But there is something in here that I don't know if was in here before. The quantize feature. So this kind of reminds me of what Ableton Live is doing. And please forgive me, I kind of do a lot of comparison between Ableton Live, because I think Ableton Live is a dope program to be creative or whatever. Sorry, Fender, but it's just I come from a creative background, wanting something more creative, and so yeah, that's where we're coming from. Anyway, there's half beats and then there's 1/4 beats. I wonder if this is their way of like just doing kind of like again in Ableton, where in their sample algorithm you can make the sample do different things, but this is quantized, so maybe, I don't know, we'll have to test that, which is why you should be subscribed. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. We going through these things. I'm showing you guys that things that I saw that caught my eye, and I'm not gonna be able to show you everything. We're gonna test run. I'm gonna go through everything and see how these things works. Anyway, for the most part, everything is the same, but this feature right here is kind of cool, because now there is a right click option that allows you to send to sample one. So for those of you guys that use hi-hats or bass, if there's a bass sample here, oftentimes we want the ability to change the pitch of those. Well, there's a quick option here. You can just send it straight to Studio One. Sample One. And yes, Sample One has a new look, a refreshed look. This looks more like, or it's closer to Presence. Yeah, it has the Presence vibe here. Pitch, filter, amp, LFO, all those things were in here the entire time, but this new section down here where you could turn on the modular, the delay, the reverb, this is an addition. There's a gator effect in there, there's the EQ, all these things. These are the things that was borrowed or inherit from the Presence. If we go to Presence here, Presence, this is what it looks like in Presence. So Presence is I like to say, more geared toward acoustic instruments, like your pianos, your organs, your strings, and things like that. So now it takes on the design of that, specifically down here at the bottom. And so here's sample one now. So now we have the option or the ability to make our samples even more angelic, if you will. Things will sound, before you go to an effect. And see, that's my whole thing here. If I need to expound on why I keep bringing up Ableton Live, I just think that giving us more options to make changes and effects, and making a sample sound different from what the original sounds like, with onboard inside the DAW effects, like stuff like this is what makes it powerful, I would think, instead of going to a third party plugin for something. So now with the regular sample, and before you put on an effect anywhere, you have these other options available to you, which are basic options, nothing really fancy here, but now in sample one, instead of going to a chorus, we have the option to just activate chorus right here inside the actual plugin itself. So that's always cool. And then everything else is pretty much the same. Check, 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 1, 2. So if we are looking at what things look like in terms of the meters that jumps up in this channel view down here, this is what it looks like, which is a welcome workflow, y'all. I think that's fire. This is definitely something that's welcome. And of course, if you just, want to do a little bit more, there's the full window of this as before. But it's just so much cooler, and I think the workflow is much faster when you have the option to just glance over things, looking at it in another view that's just dedicated down here at the bottom. I think this is dope to me. And of course, with these type of plugins, like the Pro EQ or the compressor, there was always an additional way to look at these. Like if we go here to the mixer, you kind of long press or just touch it. No, I have to long press on it. This won't let me be great. What is going on? Let's see. There we go. I guess you have to double click on. That's kind of weird. Oh, so it looks like I have to go to slightly. That could be a bug because this is the beta version of this. But you could see the action inside the actual, inside the mixer. So there you go. Double click on the side of it, because if you go, oh, now it want to work. That's interesting. I was double clicking the whole time. I thought it was long press, but I guess if you click it one time, it'll bring up the plugin, and if you double click, it'll give you these options. So this is kind of like what I was saying with the channel strip area. If you see, for third-party plugins, this is kind of what we'll get, like a basic line by line, and it tells you what the feature is, and it just kind of look basic like that, and you just kind of move things side to side, turn it on, turn it off, whatever, that type of thing. They didn't do that to the channel strip, the new channel view area. They gave us a little bit more to look at, and things are designed according to whichever third-party plugin you decide. But of course, they're going to give the love to the native stuff. You can see the compressor and how much compression has been added, yada yada yada, right? You can see it. Let's see. So I'm guessing the compressor, the EQ, I want to say the reverb, maybe. Okay, that's Studio Verb. Let's see, did they do that to Studio Verb? Nope. Studio Verb looks basic. Room Verb. Let's see, again, I feel like only the EQ and the compressor is the only one that have, and I might be wrong. There might be some other plugins that I don't remember or recall at the moment that will give you a live view. But anyway, I wasn't really fascinated with this area anyway, to be honest with you. I would just double click on these areas by mistake most of the times. But now that we have this view, it don't matter. You know what I mean? Because now we have another way. And of course, toggle between these real quick, real fast, and see what's happening real quick. You know what I mean? And access these things a lot quicker. If you want to get to a preset, no problem. It's there. You could do that. You can also click up here. And now I wonder. Okay, store effects change. Yeah, okay. Basic stuff. It's always been there. So if you like what you got going here, you can save it and recall it. I wonder if there's a way to collapse. See, that's gonna be the other thing. You know, maybe in 8.1 or something, the ability to collapse these so we can see even more. Like I don't want to see this, I don't want to see that, because I want to only focus on something down here. You know, maybe in the future update there'll be a way to collapse everything, because that's what we can do in Ableton or Bitwig. Collapse everything and then have, you know what I'm saying? You know, baby steps. I'm just excited that Fender is listening, which is interesting. And of course, you guys notice the section up here at the top, right? Like there is now a, I don't know what you call this, a navigating area. Like you can get a full view of your tracks. You know what I mean? If I keep adding, put things in a weird place, you know, something like that, I'll just mute that real quick so it won't do nothing weird. But you can see at the top how it will reflect. Or maybe not. Never mind. Oh, yes, you can. Yes, you can. I can see it. It's grayed out. Let's see if we just unmute this. Yeah, just mute these. There we go. It shows you what's happening. Let's break it up. Let's see if say we do something like this. Boom. There you go. There's a full view of your tracks, and it will reflect. Yeah, there you have it. We can see it up here. So these are all welcome features. I am digging this. This is really dope. It's really dope. So you could just navigate and move around. Let's say we focused on one area and we zoomed all the way in, okay? So you could take this here and just go like this and just bam, get to whatever section real quick. This is really useful for like, say like a mix engineer. You got a particular section. You want the singer to come in like right around here. Boom. You know, we can get everything going right there. Now, I think this is just only for viewing purposes. It doesn't really put the cursor there. You just go in and click and say, okay, that's good. We're going to punch you in right here. All right. You know, this is cool. This is cool. This is cool. I like it. I like it. And like I say, we just kind of like looking at things, seeing what else that could be new that I'm not telling y'all about. The inspector, I think that's a new addition too, how you can click this on and off. Brought it forward, maybe. Is that new? I don't know. That's my first time paying attention to that. Okay. You know, maybe there was I don't know. It looks new to me. It could have been there for a while, but it looks new to me. It's there. I noticed it, and now y'all know about it. All right. Yeah, for the most part, everything looks the same. Everything else is the same. It's still the same powerful features that I love about Studio One. You know, my window is condensed because of this live view. But like, if I was to open Studio One all the way out the length of my actual screen here, then there will be more options available to me just, in my view. But I would imagine that this is what it looks like on a laptop where the screen resolution is much different than a full bigger screen or whatever. So that's that. Everything is the same. Hopefully the note effects will be updated at some point. I'm not really complaining. I'm just excited. I'm excited about them doing what they're doing, and I'm really looking forward to these, whatever they got going on next. Like, these are welcome features. I wouldn't say that they neglect the community. I wouldn't say that personally. I feel like this is just an add-on, and because Studio Pro, Studio One, right, whichever name you want to go with, everything pretty much looks the same as before. It's just added features and a little touch up with the design. Some of the things in the background is the same. So like if you get into the settings, this obviously looks the same, but you will notice that there will be more things that was added. There's more commands that was introduced, and we can go over that during the live streams and whatever. This is the same. It looks the same. And yeah, as we dive deeper, we will discover more things. So yeah, all of that looks the same. Okay. This video will be super long of me trying to go through everything. But I'm just trying to see if I can stumble across something I notice is like, oh, look at that. You know what I mean? This been in 7, so this is not anything new. Oh, I did read something about the chord section is updated, is more advanced. There was a touch there. There was certainly a touch. So if we was to get the chord track, okay, let's do this. Let's get the chord track, and I'm gonna just throw this up here, and it identifies a note as usual. Yeah, right. That's right. Let's see. Is there anything new? Ooh, a new design there. See what I'm saying? I'm glad I didn't cut the video off, because now we see something. What do you know? They redesigned it. Okay. But it didn't catch the notes between here. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So as I'm playing the track, it's telling me what the notes are right here in this bar. That's new. That's new. Okay. Oh, I see what's happening here. I see what's happening. That's fire. That's fire. Okay. We just need Studio Pro to recognize the chords in between. I don't know what I got to do differently to get that. I'll probably have to add it in manually or cut this out and then bring it up. I don't know if that's a bug or whatever. We'll figure it out. Of course, I'm gonna come back with another video and I'm gonna show you like, oh guys, you remember that button? It does this. Yeah, but that's again the reason why you should be subscribed, because we're gonna figure these things out and we're gonna have fun in this thing. Oh, by the way, for you guys that are new, yeah, there's a score in here. You can totally. I guess right now I'm showing y'all the things that I like a lot about Studio One or Studio Pro. Like these type of things is just one of those things that I always come back in here because of these type of options. You know what I mean? Like Ableton is not doing these type of things right here. The arranger block is just so dope to me. Just being able to, because I know me when I'm designing a beat, or painting a new beat, I appreciate the fact that you can see the Ranger block here at the bottom when you're working on the piano roll, even though it's right there. But sometimes you might be in a different view up here, like with the new view thing, right? Let's see. Now I can't get to it, but anyway, say things where like, say we got to focus up here, you know, something like that. And then I just needed to get to this one section down here. I know exactly where I am, you know what I mean? So there could be a different situation on the top and the bottom. And yeah, like that, those type of things is just like quality of life type things in Studio One or Studio Pro that I really, 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 really enjoy about the program. Okay, I'm gonna end the video because it's getting too long, and this is where the live streams come in. So you guys subscribe to the channel, and we'll go diving deeper. We'll create a beat, and that's also the place where you guys can ask me questions, and we'll figure things out together. And I'm a nice guy. I try to be. Good vibes only. Good vibes. I gotta warn y'all. Good vibes. It's all about Studio Pro. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And to the beat culture, lifestyle governed by art.